Hello everybody, it's the Historical Gamer once again, and today we are returning to Burden of Command, a new turn-based war game and sort of leadership RPG that we've been playing for a bit on this channel. In our last episode of this series, we fought our first incident of fighting the Germans, and we ran into MG42s, which was a challenge. Our unit is taking increased casualties here. The boys are getting experienced, but you can see here we don't have enough replacements to keep up with our casualties. These white skulls represent how many men below full complement each one of these squads is. So, you know, of a squad of like 10 people or so, I mean, this squad, third squad, first platoon, is basically wiped out. The first two squads in the first platoon have one casualty. Second platoon has 3 casualties in its first platoon and 1 in each of its second and third. 1 casualty in the first and second platoons in third platoon, or squads in third platoon. The only guys who aren't taking huge casualties are the heavy weapons, and those are because usually they get stuck further back. I'm not good at keeping them up with my boys. So we'll see how that plays out. We are on our almost completely new schedule of infantry officers. First and second platoon are being led by replacements, Lieutenant Thompson and Lieutenant Rao. Thompson's been around for a couple of missions, but basically joined the unit in Sicily, and then with my promotion to company command. And Lieutenant Rao replaced Lieutenant Wilson after he was killed in a false surrender just a mission ago. And so these guys didn't exist with the units when we trained back in the States. Lieutenant Dearborn's the only infantry commander left from our time in the States, and Lieutenant Stern, the heavy weapons company, or heavy weapons platoon leader, also is from back in the States. But with that being said, let's continue our journey and see what the north coast of Sicily has in store for us. Hopefully fewer MG42s than the last fight. $1 Million Ridge, 10th August 1943, Sicily.
Wherever the 7th Infantry went, we went. I mean, if they needed us to go out and clean a mine, say they got pinned down by a minefield or something like that, we'd have to go out in front of the infantry and pick up that minefield and clear it out. We wouldn't take the whole minefield, we would clear a path through for them.
Okay, that's not great, referencing minefields. Bridge in the sky. The Germans make a stand at the next crossroads, the next river, the next ridge. Time and again, Nickel Company is rotated forward to flank the foe. The enemy fights hard for a few minutes or a few hours and then slips away. Stress, a black cloud on a clear day. The next night, First Sergeant Grant escorts Corporal Becker into your command tent on the reverse slope of the ridge. The little assistant squad leader is all but bursting to talk. "Sir, it's about the lieutenant," the corporal says. "He's starting to write condolences letters. All of them, tonight." Thompson's getting ahead of the curve. First Sergeant Grant notes. "We won't be shot at for days." Let him do what he feels is important. That'll reduce his combat fatigue. A stress scene, Thompson may recover a lot of combat fatigue. Alright, let's see what's going on with him. You find Thompson on the reverse slope of the ridge, seated on his bedroll with a clipboard for a desk. He has set a pen to paper with a frown of intense concentration. This doesn't look like an act put on for the men, or you. Beside him lies a familiar stack of condolence letters with an unfamiliar Colt pistol for a paperweight. "Hey, you busy?" Thompson glances up from his labor. He blinks, clearly surprised to find you here. "A little," he admits. Take a seat beside him. The two of you sit together for a while, saying nothing, but watching the war go by. At last Thompson sighs. My father used to do that for me, he says, eyes distant. It didn't really help back then. Tell me about these letters. Well, I write them, Thompson says. When it becomes clear that doesn't cover things, he adds, one for each soldier in my platoon who's going home. Sometimes they're just mangled up, a pin shy or a finger short. Those letters are easy. They'll be able to tell their folks themselves. I'm just putting in a good word for them. But the others... He looks away, eyes fixed on a distant horizon. I tell him how it happened, who he was with, and what he was doing. I try to fit in a few details about who he'd become, what he'd gone through. Finally, I tell him their boy died for something that's ending this war. It'll be worth it. And that's it, really. I've had trouble with that myself. Guess you'd have to, Thompson says. Wilson, you get to know someone, and next thing you know, you're writing a letter. You got an odd sense of timing for this. Okay, that was weird. Not nearly as much as the other guys, Thompson says, but this isn't for me. It's for the folks back home waiting for their sons and husbands to come back, hoping their blue star won't turn gold when they get that telegram. He looks down at the solitary letter he's finished and lays down by the pistol atop it. My letter should be in there with it, to give them something to hold on to, like I was there to tell them that their son died a hero doing what I was told. Yeah, we make the hard choices and they obey. Like at Palma. The hard choices, Thompson says flatly. The ones with no good answers. The one which make you lie awake at night and ask if I could have done different. What's with the pistol there? Okay, give it back to the army eventually. What's your plan for these letters? The men see these, they might start to worry. Morale? Thompson asks. He absently shifts the pistol. A pretty two-toned affair with just a hint of brawn to the finish. This is for morale, so the men know they'll be remembered, that their folks will... He shakes his head under to continue. Writing these letters all at once affects morale. You need to be more discreet about this. He's a good kid, serious and driven. He chooses to tackle those letters head on. I thought he's like preemptively writing the letters. That's what I'm a little confused on. You have to write these, but don't let it consume you. He idly scoops up the pistol and placing it into his musette bag, the letters that had been pinned down beneath it stay put. Oh, negative 60 combat fatigue. Not bad. Okay. Your boots whisk through the tall grass as you head toward 3rd Battalion's command post for the usual briefing. This time, there's a single massive tent there instead of a cluster of smaller ones. Stranger still, the canvas is definitely not U.S. issue. Corporal Crosley slings his borrowed rifle, shifting from his bodyguard to guard. That's got promise, Captain. I don't know, Captain, Crosley considers. Something big at tent, I guess. Can't argue with that. That's what everyone says, Crosley replies as he walks with you toward the opening. Sometimes it comes out kind of funny, though. The guard at the front flap salutes as you approach. After a perfunctory review, he opens the flap for you. Don't just stand there. Get some chow. Okay. The interior of the tent is crammed full of Army desks and men, not just from S2 and intelligence, but S3 operations too. Usually those are under a separate canvas. Lieutenant Colonel Henkes leans over a stand at a table and at the back of the tent, gesturing at some terrain features with a sweep of his hands. Across from him is a dashing figure. Captain Cordell Boston of the Vanguard Rangers. He seems to be prospering. Being at the front means those in command trust him. There are, after all, plenty of rear echelon jobs to fill. I'm afraid your Colonel Darby is incorrect, says to Captain Boston as you approach. Our engineers have not determined that slope is here, and not passable. Too deep and rocky. Oh, the squabble of lofty officers. Captain, Lieutenant Colonel Henkes says the moment he notices you. Good to see you again. Regiment has a new plan for pushing the Germans back toward Messina. The new plan is the old plan, Captain Boston adds sourly. Henkes does not correct him. Before we get going, what's at the tent, sir? Oh, this? Division's foisting it on us. Now concentrated in the single space. They call it the War Room. Some smartass on Truscott's staff thought it'd be a good idea to have the staff sections share office space. Idea is there'll be fewer screw-ups. The canvas is a good design, even if it's British. Okay. I see. Seems good enough. I'm going to suggest Colonel Darby copy this. Not that it'll help with tomorrow's attack, rushed as it is. Rushed? Some are saying that we Americans have been sitting on a sunny. Some are saying that we Americans have been sitting on a sunny Sicilian beach, eating grapes while the British and Canadians bleed. Lieutenant Colonel Henkes explains. He taps a table where a map overlay traces the latest march. Patton wants us to get into Messina first so he can show the Limeys how serious he is about cutting off the German line of retreat. Okay. Artillery support? There will be artillery, but the ridge will be ascending and it'll make use of it. Less than optimal. Rangers on our left. Invasion artillery and assault, Captain Boston says, ticking off a list. 2nd Battalion of the 30th will make another shore-to-shore assault. Once their boots are dry, they'll cover the road, while the rest of the 30th and 7th and the Rangers cross the Zapula River and assault Nassau Ridge. We'll take it, hold it, break up any counterattack, and then link up with the landing force. The sand table shows the avenue of approach. It isn't pretty. All uphill and without much cover for part of the way. Okay. Problem is, the enemy isn't going to be fooled twice. They'll be expecting this. We'll have to hit them as hard as we can. Since the two of you know each other at least a little, I've assigned Nickel Company to the extreme left flank going uphill, Marco there. You'll be closest to the Rangers and Captain Boston's own company. He's given the okay that is Colonel Darby's proxy, but I want to hear from whether you have a reservation. I'll be honored to fight next to him. Okay. A chemical mortar battalion? Smoke laid by chemical mortars particularly thick. Okay. Okay. I like more firepower. Can we have it? So we're to brass tacks. Because, as Lieutenant Stern could tell you, there's a lot more to using a mortar than firing it, some commanders would prefer an outfit with a longer track record. Can't say I'd agree, though. They're fools, Captain Boston says in total agreement. The guys over in the 45th say the chemical mortars worked wonders east of Cheflou. I want them back in my Rangers. Okay. don't think the army does duels anymore. They both chuckle and turn toward you. I think you're right, Captain. Trouble is, if we get into a brawl over this, chances are neither of us will get what we want. Since Nickel Company is going to be the closest to the Rangers, I'd hope we could all come to some agreement over the mortars. The Rangers are good enough, they don't need them. Sure. I'll let the Rangers have them. I don't use smoke very effectively anyway with my own. Oh no. My superior's not happy. Shoot. Alright. Morris Patterson, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to know. I don't need to know about whatever donkey you stole here. I'm once more astounded that our regiment's confidence in our abilities. Perhaps they'll expect us to drive all the way to Messina and then walk across the strait as well. They know their trade. Nowhere to go but up, Stern says. We'll need a lot of smoke to blind them. We'll do the middle option. Stern can do it. Stern's units are always kind of in the rear, not doing as much, so. Gunfire rings out around midnight. Flare burns over the treetops. More gunfire. Screams. Okay. Stern wades out of the river ahead of the patrol to meet you as the water's edge. Uh-oh. Okay. Glad you gave as good as you got. Alright, now we're gonna assault this ridge, right? Mission, seize the ridge by turn 10. Suffer no more than moderate casualties. Okay, so we're going to be going up in elevation. There's obviously going to be at least some enemy machine guns. There's a little bit of smoke on the right flank, presumably from the mortars. I guess the Rangers are using them. Wow, they're actually dropping a decent amount of smoke down. Okay. Alright, right flank's getting smoked the fuck out of it, so we got to take advantage of that. Let's find a unit with a lot of spare movement points. Alright, can you guys crawl? You got the road zeroed in. Alright, so they dropped Artie on us. I think we took a casualty. I thought when you're crouched, you don't take the same amount of casualties, but... I don't see anything around here. Okay. Ow! We're getting hit through the smoke. Undaunted. We took some stress damage, but it didn't look like we took any casualties. We did take cover. So they're firing from behind the smoke. We'll use my captain's points to get these guys active. Let's try and just move through one hex where they're exposed to enemy fire. Fucking A. 6 suppression. But they're getting smoked. How do they see us?
What's the Hun thinking?
They really not have anyone here? Okay, well that's an easy objective. Listening post. Okay. Alright, so first platoon moved up. I don't think they took any casualties. But they definitely... Okay. All right, we'll move our captain up to the squad that's on the objective. All right, we'll keep him here for now. End the round. We got to move forward to the next platoon's turn. Oh, nice. Our MGs can go ahead and strafe the enemy MG-42. So Stern's boys, I guess, got suppressed by the counterfire. So that's not great. Okay. So end Stern's turn. They take casualties there too? Looks like they did. Okay. You know, it's nice that there's a crawl option, but it'd be nice if there was like a forced march option. All right, these guys are just going straight up the goddamn hill through the open. Oh, they ran through a minefield? Hit the minefield with a mortar barrage, scout forward. Let's, if that'll work. At last, the mortar cease fire. The scouts sweep forward, keeping to the craters, hoping that your weapons platoon have done their job. They haven't. Great. So we just took 2 casualties. Well, I should have known that wouldn't work. That seemed a little bit cavalier, but... all right. Really? I'm weary? Okay, I guess we got to get up that ridge somehow. Dearborn at least has an experienced platoon. The problem is his boys started too far back. Apparently they gotta use a lot of movement points to move through these woods. Get behind that stone wall. My boys are tired. All right. But we'll use the mortars. Okay, one turn down. We've got to get till turn 10. Wish we had the mortars. I mean, we did get a bunch of smoke laid. Wasn't maybe as much as I would like, but... Rally your MGs. Oh, they didn't take any casualties. Okay, cool. Thompson's gonna... Can he not? Oh, it's Stern's turn. I would love to get my MGs up closer.
We need to get set up.
To move forward behind that infantry next turn. My mortars are suppressed? Really? Okay. All right, Thompson, go ahead and rally your boys.
Hernandez, pull it together.
Rest of his platoon is going to use my movement points. Bolster.
We're gonna pound them flat.
Yeah, the captain will go with him. What?
Come on.
Okay. Still can't see the enemy targets with my mortars, huh? Be nice if my own personal mortars had some degree of smoke. So they have in previous missions. But I do think we need to get moving more quickly than otherwise, just because I worry the enemy's going to be... We don't have a lot of turns, and with all these rally sort of announcements.
This is the way. Quickly.
Okay. They're not close enough. All right, we're going to spread these guys out and try and get them to go here. There we go. All right. My platoon made it forward. And now it's Dearborn's boys bringing up the rear.
Quickly.
Trying to get them all up there before the smoke drops. They just ran into some artillery fire by the looks of it. Okay. Trying to spread my front out to these woods here on the left. We're up most of the way into the ridge. I'm sure there's a bunch of Germans in the actual forest.
Minefield!
Alright, well, we just took a casualty. Oh boy.
Scheiße!
We are now adjacent to an enemy squad. Alright, enemy's opening fire on us also from the tree line. They suppressed us. They're hitting us in the flank over here. Also suppressing us. Didn't see any casualties taken, though. Gonna need officers up there probably to rally guys, but... Can I drop artillery on anybody? No? Not from here, at least. Right. Try and move around from behind and then maybe move up into the objective, assuming there's no one there. I'm guessing there's someone here. Ooh, that's a lot of suppression. And 3 casualties. Damn it. I knew they were moving through the open and that would be dicey. I was hoping the ridge would give them a little bit of cover. It did not. We can creep. We'll press.
Think of your Kameraden!
Let's give me a chance of success here. Flanking morale boost. We don't even know what the enemy has there, though. Fuck it, go for it. Moving through the smoke. Flanking the enemy infantry here. And we overran them. Hell yeah, brothers. Well, the squad down here took 3 casualties, but at least the second squad just wrecked these boys. Alright, this is going to be a turn where my officer needs to run through the open here and do some work.
Keep your heads down!
Okay.
Captain needs everyone now. They won't expect this.
All right, you rallied the first squad, then you pressed them. Why do we think they'd get there, though, without being react fired against? My initiative chance is pretty low. Let's wait for Dearborn to get his squad moving. Can Stearns boys do anything from back here? Interesting. They're shooting at the middle squad there in line, and they're... I guess they weren't suppressed at all, but... You got a chance to have some success there. Hey, they inflicted some casualties. Good job, boys. Presumably also suppressed them a bit. Go again. My heavy weapons section's doing some work. Alright, they're probably suppressed. This is even odds. Do we have any bombardment ability? Let's drop mortars on that MG42. Hoping that the MG42 suppressed him a bit, or the mortars suppressed him a bit. I don't think it did all. We got heavily suppressed there in that counterattack. Yeah, basically no chance versus the MG42. We'll go ahead and hit the infantry again if they weren't already suppressed. Maybe they will be now. So a big turn for the heavy weapons at least. Says these guys aren't suppressed at all. These are not very good odds. Fuck it. Initiative chance is better than 50-50. I usually like to see it much higher than that. Looks like the attack worked, though. They overran the Germans. Okay. Good job, Dearborn. Your boys did their work.
Gentlemen, follow my lead.
Okay. All right, work left. Creep forward. Get into some cover. Great.
Shit.
They ran over a mine. Okay. Okay. All right, so we're trying to break their left. We've had a little bit of success here on the left. Actually, on the right, too. We're trying to break their line. Here we got Thompson coming up. Presumably through some fire. I don't want Thompson selected here. I just want the infantry. There we go. Okay.
Don't let up.
All right. What are we through? 5 turns? Something like that? Wants me to retake the objective, but we haven't even taken it yet. How do you retake something you never took? All right. Failed to respond. Low morale. Great. Is this Stern's turn? Can he issue the order? No. Great. Right, what about Stern can maybe rally these guns because their morale is low? Alright. Strafe these guys. We use the captain's action points to get it going. Look like we're doing a whole lot of damage. Ow. Oh, we inflicted a casualty on them. More smoke coming down. Oh, that's actually German artillery. It's landing in front of us, though, so far. How many rounds do they get to shoot? Oh, did I bolster myself? There's nobody where I am right now. Whatever. Let's bolster the, How much artillery do the Germans get? They just dropped some on our boys over here. Okay. So they're going to counterattack us? Alright, we're almost to the top here. Form a hidden reserve. Alright, so the enemy artillery is not very accurate so far. Those are not good odds. Okay. Alright, maybe you can suppress them first. Nice, knocked out the enemy officer there. You'd think that would suppress them. It's a little annoying how much the artillery, just how long it lasts. Alright, try and come in behind the enemy MG. Since we broke him on the right, we've been able to get in kind of behind him. Oh no, 12 suppression. Artillery landed on me right as I was trying to go in for the attack. Do we at least take the guns? Looks like it. So we took the guns. Okay. Alright. Gotta go ahead and rally these guys. Both of these units need to rally. Can only do one at a time. Okay, I'll rally that unit. Might as well press him to go up and take the objective.
Come on already.
Okay. All right, that's Rao's platoon. Oh, God damn it. No suppression and undaunted. Nice. Although we took a casualty there. All right, Thompson, your boys go take that central objective. And get in behind him. Oh, shit. I just took 3 casualties. Damn it. There's an enemy unit back there I didn't see previously. They just ran into a fucking ambush. What is that anyway? It looks like an officer. It doesn't even look like a unit. Oh, fuck. It's a flamethrower unit. Well, try to take out the infantry first. Yes, an attack now. All right, you overran him. Good job. Okay. Another fucking mine. Never going to be able to replace all these casualties. Aw. I pressed them and their morale was broken already. Okay. Well, the good news is that I can move these guys forward here on the objective. We'll have every objective taken. And then presumably we'll have to hold against whatever this counterattack is that might be coming. Why did my captain use all his movement points up? Okay. That flamethrower is making me nervous.
We must finish the job.
We've taken all the objectives. All right. Can my captain get up on the objective here? We're going to rally these boys.
You know what comes next.
Oh, you can press them into position.
Ready? No use waiting.
Okay. Dropped mortars on the enemy flamethrower unit. Man, bad chances versus them, huh?
Let's hit them hard.
Okay, rally those boys. Thompson needs to rally the boys
You
back
have
here
been
in the
trained.
rear. And get up and try and get his other boys going.
Just
Give him a
keep at it.
bolster. So, I don't think assaulting this is a good idea. Maybe we can get him behind him. All right, much better chance attacking them from the rear. Doesn't suppress them or anything, but... all right, get your boys going up here. God damn it. Don't do that. All right. Firing from the rear. Flanking. Doesn't seem to do any suppression damage. Move in there. Please don't shoot me. Okay, good. All right. Bro, get up on top of this ridge. We got to deal with this enemy flamethrower unit. Oh, we need to rally these boys.
Once more.
All right, I'm going to guess there's bad guys coming up the ridge here. So we're trying to set up along this ridge line here. I really should get some MGs forward.
Get that ammo up.
Just move the MGs forward. I'm going to move Stern over to try and rally the mortars since they're a little bit depressed. I think they got depressed because they didn't fully clear that minefield. So we'll try and rally them next turn, get them a little bit closer to the fight while we move the MGs up the ridge to get in contact with the infantry that's up there. That's everybody. Weather the counterattack. So yeah, I mean the counterattack should be coming. Trying to hit this flamethrower from the fucking flank. Okay. There's no suppression. Okay.
We'll find the best way.
Good chance for initiative, bad chance for a successful attack.
Hell,
Okay. Need to overrun that flamethrower. Best odds we've seen on a successful assault. They're at least partially suppressed. And it worked. Flammenwerfer suppressed. Alright. So. Why are these guys sad? Alright. Let's get these MGs up the hill. Rally the mortars.
We can't give up.
Do you have to survive 10 turns or whatever it is?
With me.
Okay.
Gentlemen,
Try to get all my boys up to full strength, I guess, or full morale. Move Rao down the line. No suppression. Okay. They're just under strength, that's why. I mean, I'm clinging to the ridge. I guess we could move up a little bit more because some of these hexes are further up the line, but I actually kind of feel like a little bit of reverse slope might be worthwhile. Can you dig in or anything? I don't see that as an option. Okay. Just waiting for this enemy counterattack to materialize. Bolster the mortars and get them moving. Make them move a little faster. Okay, we've been going for almost an hour. No sign of any enemy attack yet. I assume there will be a large artillery bombardment or something before it shows up, but... Okay. Just waiting. Oh, there's some Germans. Oh, there's a number of Germans. So we get a react fire against them as they move through the open. Do some damage to them, inflict some casualties. There's probably some bad guys moving through the woods too, I would guess. Mortars have already moved this turn. Okay. Alright, hit the guys in the open, I guess. All right, someone's moving. At least the one of the squads is beat up a bit, I think. I'd rather the MG swap places with one of these units. Part of me is wondering if it's not better to sneak one of these squads forward a little bit. Have them creep forward. I can only creep through the open? I want them to move here. Too far. How is that too far? Okay. All right. All right. I don't know that I don't want to run into the enemy point blank, but oh, they hit me from the flank apparently. They really want to go after this one squad that moved. Heavy suppression. Can't drop RD on any of them? Really? Move one hex forward, maybe? Yeah, now you can. At least on the guys in the open. Okay. Oh wait, these are bad guys right here. Huh. Can't shoot at them? Weird. I guess they're like below the ridge line. Frankly, Lieutenant Thompson's boys need to fall back. They're getting shot to pieces. Either we need to move forward or they need to fall back to us. Okay.
You are Cottonbalers.
Good chance of overrunning them either flank. Let's go for the wood line. I'd rather stay out of cover in cover.
Cottonbalers, it's me.
All right. Overran that enemy squad on the right without loss.
Stand ready.
Try and overrun this squad that are... Oh, no, you're going to get flanked. Oh, you didn't get flanked. Nice.
Davis,
Damn it, we took 3 casualties doing this. Rao got another squad, but... Was it worth it? Okay. Well, hopefully we at least took the impetus out of their attack a bit. The wounded are bound up in stretchers and carried down the slope. That's 10. Okay. Nope. We can't lose the ridge. So our casualties have exceeded the 9%. We're currently at the minor victory here. We've just barely exceeded the major victory threshold, which is unfortunate. I was perhaps being more aggressive than I needed to. I wonder if the enemy keeps spawning new squads. If they do, that'll make me really regret this, and I would have felt like I should have just waited back. Okay. Okay, so you can press them. Not good odds for a successful attack there, so we'll hold off on that. Okay. 7 turns left. Another squad door front. Front and flank. My thought process is the attack you keep going because you push them off the actual ridge, which is where they can hurt you.
Never give up.
Okay. Like they can't take the objective. Enemy's got a bunch of men, don't they? Okay. Do the follow me command. That's the first time I've kind of used this special command, which is supposed to give you a better chance of succeeding. We did take a casualty, but we overran the enemy. Should be able to attack him from the rear now, which should give us a much better chance of 3 more casualties. Ah! Oh my god. We're still at a minor victory, but it's getting up there. You just gotta hope that some of these are walking wounded type scenarios.
Take it to him!
Whoa! The men went berserk and just continued the charge and overran another enemy section. So most of the enemy units are gone now, I think. Alright, I'm going to take a gamble here and move my guy up the road on his own. I need to get him... Ow.
Put pressure.
Oh no, I'm out of action. No, everybody's like, get your heads down. Our captain's down. Don't risk your skin. Fudge. Hopefully it was just a minor wound.
Los, weiterfeuern! Nicht anhalten!
Hand to hand. Someone just assaulted me, didn't they? Oh, they're assaulting Thompson's boys?
Target!
They shot the enemy in the flank, but the enemy was undaunted. And I think they overran Thompson and his men. Yeah, those boys surrendered. They're wiped out. Okay, that's a first. I will hit him from the flank.
Constant fire!
Okay.
Don't get frisky!
All my boys are heavily discouraged. Okay. What a bloody mess. Just not worth it. Alright, suppressed, undaunted. 4 more casualties, dear God. I was trying to get into cover. Are there any men left? 2/3 of that squad is gone. Who's the acting captain? I have to take command of the captain because it's not me? Oh no, I'm taking command of this section, not the captain. Dearborn is leading the round.
Leave the wounded for the medics!
Okay. Can they assault from there now? No. Alright, well, the enemy's suppressed, so advance. Please attack from the rear and don't take any casualties. Well, we got a hit from the enemy MG, but they did overrun the squad. Okay. Just the one enemy unit left? And Dearborn's poor squad that he's with just getting put into the fire.
Move it!
Give
Hurry yourselves up!
Okay, 5 turns left. I think we ripped the heart out of their assault, but...
Charge!
Okay. Is that it? Did we do it? Alright, I'm hoping that's it. That there's no more Germans.
The men depend on you, Captain.
Okay. Alright. Everything is breaking down.
Gentlemen, there is yet work to be done.
Well, the casualties, I need to figure out what's going on here, because I am losing men at a clip that I cannot sustain. Headquarters is going to be happy we took the ridge, but maybe not so happy I wrecked my company. Still says it's minor casualties, 13% of the units, but that feels somehow less than it is. Anyway, a major victory according to the brass. My boys feel differently. I took a serious wound and will be returning. Lieutenant Thompson was killed in the assault, and Lieutenant Camera is replacing him. Okay. A few stragglers from 2nd platoon or 2nd squad, 1st platoon will return. So, serious wound for me, but I guess that's the last mission for Sicily, maybe?
Coastal towns and cities in Allied hands, British and American forces, joining with the Canadians, drive for Messina.
Maybe we'll get more replacements because it's the end of a campaign.
Engineers clear minefields in the path of advancing troops.
Okay. The 1st platoon has suffered a terrible loss. We shouldn't have been writing fucking stacks of letters. Poor kid. The men of the 1st platoon look after the fallen officer as best they can. 1st Sergeant Grant is there too. Still full of innocence and dreams, didn't even get the chance to know better. He looks at the body one last time and then with a sad shake of his head steps away, leaving you with your own thoughts. No comment on the fact that I'm apparently seriously wounded? Kind of. Gave it his all. The narrative needs to do a better job to take into account your status. Okay. Soon enough, the order comes to advance down the far side of the ridge. Wearily, your men pick up their rifles and push on. When they reach the soldiers who came ashore, those pummeled grunts of the 30th, 2nd Battalion, and their usual razzing between tardy relief and stunning beachgoers. But no one takes it seriously. The important thing is that the Germans are retreating yet again. Nickel Company goes into reserve. That night, Lieutenant Colonel Hentias drops by to inform you that a few Germans still are left on Sicily or headed for Messina. Germans knew from the very beginning that they'd have to withdraw, and so step by step, day by day, they followed their plan until it was fulfilled. Okay, seems the Rangers did real good with those chemical mortars. I was mistaken for questioning your judgment. You made the right call on that. I don't know about that, Colonel. I got my company shot to pieces. Last month been quite a slog. Next one will probably be the same. Even so, I know I'll sleep easy knowing that I've got a leader like you around. Thanks, I guess. Okay. Layton's cooking up a dinner over the river. Okay. The fact that I was wounded, like, seriously, apparently, no comment. But hey, I look better. 41 replacements. Thank God. Well, that's a lot of casualties to replace. Dear God. Third squad's gone. We got a fresh recruit, Lieutenant Camera, to replace it. That's 3 prestige. I've got some prestige I can replace these guys with. Okay. Some of the officers, though, are suffering from some real combat fatigue. I can't reduce their... I can't spend 10 prestige to give these guys R&R as much as they need it. So some of these squads are going to basically be raw recruits at the end of this. Okay. But it's going to be the reality. I've got to use... I mean, I need to get these boys back into fighting trim. And the only way to do that is to replace... I mean, I lost like 3 full squads. So we're going to be going from a pretty experienced company to a handful of very experienced squads and a very junior company. But I think that's the only option. I mean, if it was just like leave 1 slot unfilled, I'd consider it, but there you go. Everybody, all the replacements are in, so before Italy, at least, we'll have a fresh complement of troops. That was a bloody campaign. Sicily garrison. Okay. Well, I imagine we'll have an extended cutscene at this point. I really wish it would like deal with the fact that I'm wounded. But we'll see how that is in the next episode. Until next time, this is the Historical Gamer saying once again, thank you very much for watching, and I'm out.